Boom bop, welcome back to another day on this podunk planet. My oh my, what a time to be alive. Alright, friends, so I guess it's a story time because I know many of you have been wondering, watching my content, not saying anything, many of you being silent lurkers, but I know you're watching. A lot of you have been sort of wondering, why would Chrissy pick up, hop on a plane, they go thousands of miles away? And I think it is time for me to finally share my story of how things kind of ended with my last employer, and what drove me to become an entrepreneur. Mind you, I'm a baby entrepreneur, very much a baby entrepreneur, but an entrepreneur nonetheless. All right, so we're gonna paint the picture. I'm going to paint the picture. So let's take it on back to early June. There was a lot happening at my institution, and I think I smelled the writing on the wall months ago, but of course I was in denial, and figured that because I was considered essential, and heavy on the air quotes, because I know now that I'm expendable to any place I work at, which is why I will never work anywhere again. So early June, I knew things were happening, but of course, like, I'm an optimist, so I'm trying to stay positive. I'm asking for transparency, getting none. And just kind of hoping for the best, thinking, oh, well, it's a little late in the game. If people were gonna like kind of let me go, I would have known months ago, right? I would have known months ago. And I like distinctly remember getting this ominous kind of email from, I believe, the secretary of our department, of the division, or the assistant of the division. I don't know. It just didn't make sense why I was receiving an email from this person to meet with the VP. But nonetheless, responded back, what was ready for this scheduled meeting. And I thought, because it wasn't coming from the person, and it wasn't coming, oh gosh, get your thoughts together, girl. I thought because it wasn't coming from like my direct supervisor or HR or something like that, again, I was safe, I was fine. Mind you, I am on call. I am on call during this time. That's important, because later you're gonna find out why. So I get the email, I wake up, I'm already running late, and I like dash over, and I'm running late because I got a call on the on-call phone earlier to handle something minor, and that kind of threw my whole schedule off. So again, I dashed over to this meeting. When I walked in, it was HR and the VP. And I knew in that moment it was curtains. I didn't stand a chance. It was donezo. I knew it. Also, I am not a younger or newer professional. Like, I have been in leadership spaces. I was working in leadership spaces and intentionally left that because I saw people weren't serious about change, and I figured if I went back to higher education, I'd be able to make an impact, or so I thought. So I am sitting in this meeting. Again, I have not a clue why I'm meeting with these people, but it was made very apparent, again, because I'm not stupid, within minutes. And they told me that my position was being eliminated, that I was fired, and like, regardless of whatever I decide, if I want to accept a severance or not, or whatever the hell, at the end of June, it's done. I have to move out. I have to find somewhere else to live, because my housing was attached to my position. And typically, when people who work in student housing and positions like that, they usually make a transition of anywhere between 3 to 4 months, because finding a place to live is not an easy feat. But it's not something that people typically like jump ship immediately unless something really bad happened. And again, in my mind, nothing really bad happened because I didn't do anything really bad. So I was told, finances, they're reorganizing, all that stuff, and that it was time to go. Well, it was, yeah, my time at the institution was over. And after that news was delivered to me from the VP, I was told, your supervisor and boss and the director of housing will reach out to you and tell you about the positions that are now going to be available and blah, blah, blah. And if it were a reorganization, I feel, and you were trying to retain staff, I feel like that whole situation would have been handled differently. As someone who has worked with members in the C-suite, I know it typically is handled differently if you are trying to retain talent. And I knew in that moment, because key players were not a part of that conversation, I knew that they were trying to get rid of me, not. Anyway, that's not why I'm on here. Ah, God.